Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Mr. Cam Taylor Britt at the controls. He's not Cam Taylor Britt. He's just Cam Taylor. But when he plays on Sundays, he's Cam Taylor Britt. Scotty Vegas, how you doing this evening, my friend?
I'm good. You know, it's funny. We always do a pre-show fist bump. And then recently you've kind of gotten on me about sometimes I hit you a little bit too hard. And so I give you a little tap today.
Little kiss.
And you said, that's not enough. You want a little bit more. So I gave you a little bit more oomph on it than usual.
I like a nice fist bump. I like a nice firm handshake. Mm-hmm. You have no idea how to do a correct fist bump at all.
I get excited.
You throw punches, and I'm just glad I have knuckly knuckles.
Very bony knuckles.
Very
is what you
bony knuckles, because you would have broke my hand by now. You have no idea. The correct fist bump is not supposed to be like, and it's not supposed to be like throwing a punch. It's somewhere in between. It's like boom.
In between. Okay. Boom. I got to learn that because
after 5 years, I thought you would have learned this by now. Cam, I'm lucky I don't have a broken hand by now. This guy throws punches when he fist bumps.
And here's the funny thing. I think we've done it since show number 1 that we did, 5-6 years ago. We've always done the fist bump. And even when we are not together, there were times when during COVID, we were broadcasting in separate places. We would either text each other a little fist bump, or we would still fist bump, just a verbal fist bump. So, it's a good way to start the show.
Let's fist bump this Ohio State football team. Mm-hmm. I was liking what I knew going into camp. Now we're 6 days into camp, which doesn't sound like much. Listen, there's only 25 practices before the season starts. We're already 6 into them. And really, camp only goes for the first 2.5 weeks. I'm telling you, Scotty, this Ohio State team is going to be right up there with the most talented teams we've seen. And I love the attitude of this team, the hunger, obviously the depth, the talent, the coaching, everything. Fire some questions my way.
First off, I'm going to put you on the spot because you said it's one of the most talented Ohio State football teams. Before this year, what would you say is the most talented team that you have been around for Ohio State football?
Probably 2015, but that almost seems like it's cheating because they won the national championship the previous year. They're bringing pretty much everyone back. They lost some key seniors like Devin Smith and Michael Bennett, guys that were key to the team. The only offensive lineman they lost was Darryl Baldwin. So they bring pretty much everybody back and some studs. Really the crux of the national championship team when you talk about Ezekiel Elliott, when you talk about Joey Bosa, Von Bell, Taylor Decker, all those guys, Adolphus Washington, on and on and on, Eli Apple. Brought most of those guys back. Tyvis Powell, all those guys came back. All the quarterbacks were back. Even Braxton was back as a running back. Cardale's back. JT's back. Here's the difference of the 2015 team, Scotty. They didn't have the hunger because they won the national championship, right? This team is as hungry as I've seen from an Ohio State team ever, and they might be as talented. Let's take 2015 out of the mix. 96 is up there, 1996, or so Orlando Pace's final year, same year that had one of the best secondaries ever with Sean Springs, Antoine Winfield. That's right up there. I would say 2019. I remember the 2019 season, that's the team with Justin Fields ended up losing to Clemson. Yes. I remember saying during that season, and we were talking about this on Bucknuts, we were like, this might be, I think we talked about it on the money as well. That was our first year doing this show together, Scotty. I remember saying, I don't say this lightly, this might be the best Ohio State team I have ever seen. And they were the best team in the country, I thought. Now, LSU, I think by the end of the season proved that they were the best team. I didn't realize I knew about Joe Burrow, obviously. Not that he was Joe Burrow before that season started. I didn't know Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson were that good. And the Buckeyes would not have had J.K. Dobbins going into the national championship game because he got hurt. They got screwed against Clemson. They should have won the game. But that 2019 team was right up there. But, Scotty, to answer your question, this might be the most talented team. And they have the hunger to go with it, and the coaching staff.
So I wrote down 3 when I asked the question and you started answering. I wanted to see if I would have some of the teams that you would name. I said 1998 Ohio State team, the 2003 Ohio State team, obviously coming off the national championship.
That's a good one.
And the 2015 team, which obviously you brought up as well. So, okay, I want to get back to you on the Ohio State naming a starting quarterback because it's something that we talked about on Sunday's show where you, me, and Ryan all kind of made a guess on what was the date that they would officially name, and we think it's going to be Will Howard, officially name Will Howard the starting quarterback at Ohio State. And then this evening, you came to me before the show started and you said, I think I know the exact date it's going to happen. So, Dave, spill the beans. What day is Ohio State going to name their starting quarterback?
This is a gambling show. I wish we could bet on the exact.
Let's find a way.
Bet. That has a couple different meanings right now, by the way. We should get into the Michigan stuff later, too. Harbaugh, what's up? Here's your exact date. And again, I wish we could bet on it. Here's your exact date when Ryan Day is going to name a starting quarterback. Monday, August 19th. Monday, August 19th.
Why is that?
And it will be Will Howard. And listen, I'm not saying for sure that's going to happen. That's my prediction. And I wish I could bet on it. Ryan Day's meeting with the media that day, right? That's not the week of the game. It's the week before the game. All right. I don't think he wants to wait till the week of the game. I don't think he's in a rush to do it. I think the week before game week is the time to do it. So I'm looking at Monday, August 19th, and I'm putting at least your car on it. Ooh. Maybe a little bit more. Your car, maybe Cam's car. Cam's got like a personalized license plate and everything. He does. So I'm going to put y'all's car on it.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm in for that because August 19th would mean 12 days before the opener, which of course is the 31st. So 12 days. That makes sense. Honestly, that day.
I seriously wish I could bet on it.
And you've convinced me.
Only because okay. I almost said something completely facetious there.
We have a segment on this show that we generally bring up mostly during football season called Convince Me, where we're trying to convince someone of our side of the story. And you convinced me that August 19th is going to be the day. So I'm going to circle that right now and ask you another Ohio State related question. And I want to get your update on the right guard position, because I think that's something that a lot of Buckeye fans are wondering about. What's the deal at right guard?
It's now, to me, because I think Sonny has probably moved ahead of C.J. Hicks at will, although they'll still battle. Right guard, to me, is now the most interesting battle of camp. Entering, it was probably Will, because I thought that Will Howard would be the starting quarterback. So I thought Will linebacker would be the most interesting. I think Sonny's probably going to be the starter, but C.J. Hicks is still going to play a lot. Right guard, I am really torn between Tegra, Shabola, and Carson Hinsman. Tegra Shabola is 6'6", 330 pounds. He's entering his third year. He looks like an NFL offensive lineman right now, Scotty. Carson Hinsman was the starting center last year, was thrust in there before he was ready because Luke Whippler went pro way too early after his third-year sophomore year, went all the way to the 6th round. That really threw the offensive line in a loop last year. So Carson Hinsman would probably be the first to tell you, Scotty, yeah, man, I probably wasn't ready to start as a redshirt freshman at center when he had never played center in his life before, okay? He's starting as a redshirt freshman at Ohio State, had never played center in high school ever. So that's going to be a really good battle between Tegra and Carson Hinsman. The little bit we're not seeing anything that leads me to say who leads. What I'm hearing from sources, if I had to bet on it, it's really super close. I think Tegra will be the starter.
Okay. Last one for you before we take a break. Chip Kelly met with the media this week and talked a little bit about the offensive line, kind of talked them up a little bit, and then also a little bit about Will Howard. I wanted to get your impressions on what Chip had to say about both the offensive line and the quarterback.
This was I'll be quick on this. So the offensive line, that's our biggest question, right? So Chip Kelly's asked about it, and he says, I think this has the makings of a very good offensive line. Okay, if it can be very good, size them for the rings. I just need it to be good. If it can be very good, and he talked about that a little bit. Will Howard, I knew he was a good runner. I didn't know he was fast. Now, is he Justin Fields or Braxton Miller? No. But he's the fastest of these 5 quarterbacks who are all fast. I love how they do it now, Scotty. They do it by miles per hour. Chip Kelly told us Will's the fastest of our quarterbacks. Again, all 5 are fast. All are over 20 miles per hour. Will's the fastest at 22.1. Lincoln Keene holds his next at 21.9. All of them are over 20 miles per hour. I did not think Will Howard would be the fastest. And a reason is because when he reported Ohio State, he was 249 pounds in the winter. And he informed us he's down to 234. So he's dropped 15 pounds, and he's the fastest of those 5 quarterbacks. All right, up next, we're going to talk even more Ohio State football, and we're going to look at some college football betting odds. That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Are you ready to turn your passion for media into a career? Ohio Media School is the place for you. With hands-on training in radio, television, sports broadcasting, and digital media, you'll gain the skills and experience you need to succeed. Don't wait. Classes are starting soon. Visit beonair.com and take the free assessment to get started. Enroll today and take the first step towards your dream career. Ohio Media School. Your future in media starts here. Visit beonair.com. beonair.com. Enroll now.
Let's think winter for a second. I know, not cool. For a lot of us, though, last winter, our heating bills were stupid high and our homes were freezing, and we did nothing. It's Bobby. And my friends at Pella Windows, the window that you, Columbus, voted the leading and most trusted, are giving us a reason to think about winter now with a very legitimate offer of 0% financing. Forget this, 60 months or 50% off qualifying installations. Good through August. The local Pella team is amazing, so go check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Make the most out of summer with great deals on a great selection of Ram light-duty and heavy-duty pickup trucks. And right now, during the Ram Make This the Summer event, get an exceptional deal on the 2024 Ram 1500, the most luxurious Ram 1500 ever. Or get a heavy-duty deal on the powerful Ram 2500 and Ram 3500, the most advanced Ram heavy-duty pickups ever. Make this the summer to remember with great deals on award-winning Ram trucks. See your local Ram dealer now during the Ram Make This the Summer event. Based on standard and available features offered, not affiliated with the J.D. Power 2024 U.S. Initial Quality Study.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
So last segment, Dave Biddle told us that Will Howard can run at 22.1 miles per hour, which, of course, you said, if he was running in a school zone, he'd be pulled over at that speed. Just incredible. I mean, when you told me that Chip revealed that number, I mean, that really stands out. And we've heard in camp, he's had some big time runs already. So very cool. I wanted to bring up some of the Ohio State betting odds that are out there. Of course, we do our betting at Hollywood Casino Columbus. And Ohio State to win the national championship is plus 325, right there with Georgia. We're going to go through this. There's 5 or 6 different Ohio State odds out there that I want to kind of attack as far as let's go over, see if there's good value. And
attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate and see if we should be betting it. Let's start out with that number at 325. And that's, of course, Hollywood Casino Columbus, 325 to win it all. What do you think about that number? Is it enticing to you or no?
It is. Is it great value? No. But I feel like it's good value. I feel like Ohio State, 3-1 sounds about right. Even 2-1, maybe. That's stretching it. And you're getting it a little bit better than 3-1. Okay, you're getting it at plus 325. I think it's good value, not great value. What do you think?
So, when the Caleb Downs news came out that he was transferring to Ohio State, that evening I hopped on and I got Ohio State at 6-1, and I invested heavily at that. At plus 325, Dave, I don't think I necessarily would suggest it as great value. If you think Ohio State's going to win it all and you can win a bet that's more than 3-1, then it's great, right? If it wins, it's great. But at plus 325, it's not a bet that I would recommend making right now.
Here's what I'll say. This is actually a question. Let's say Ohio State starts 6-0 and they beat Oregon. What do you think that'll drop to?
At that
Plus
point,
150.
you're talking about beating Oregon, and again, it would depend on how Georgia's season is going at that point.
Iowa. With Heisman favorite Cade McNamara. I'm kidding.
It's a great question. If you go and you win at Iowa or win at Oregon and then beat Iowa, at that point, I think Ohio State is probably less than 2-1.
And I'm not saying that's for sure going to happen, but I would predict that's. I feel like I love that Oregon's getting so much hype. I love it.
And by the way,
Carlos Loughlin was there for the last 2 years. Where did Chip Kelly make his name? Oh, was it at Oregon? Listen, that's going to be a great game. Dan Lanning's the real deal. They've got a really good team. I think Ohio State's going to go in there and beat them. And I love that there's all this hype about how great Oregon is and how right now Ohio State's considered a slight underdog in that game.
Yeah, there's a ton of love right now for Oregon. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people out there. I was looking at a site that has actually 16 different people that are handicappers that have kind of predicted who's going to win the national championship this year. 6 of the 16 had Georgia winning it all. 6 of the 16 had Ohio State winning it all. 2 had Alabama. 1 had Texas, and 1 had Oregon winning it all. So I think there's some love, but for Oregon to actually win it all, I don't know how many people believe that they're actually going to win the whole thing. Could they win the Big Ten Conference? Absolutely, right? Their schedule is not as bad or as difficult as some other teams. And, again, if Ohio State were to lose to Oregon, that might be the time when you find the value at 5-1 or 6-1 on Ohio State to win the national championship. Because you lose to Oregon, it's still probably a 95% chance Ohio State's still going to end up making the playoffs despite that loss.
It's going to be really interesting. And Oregon's used to this because they dealt with this last year. I would like to bet on this. I think it'll probably happen. I think we're going to see and I don't know who's going to win the first game. I think we're going to see an Ohio State-Oregon rematch in the Big Ten championship game, just like we saw an Oregon-Washington rematch in the Pac-12 championship game, And it's going to be interesting. Let's say Ohio State wins in Eugene in a blowout and then loses. And they're undefeated, and then they lose by a last-second field goal in Indy. Guess who gets the bye? And guess who has no chance at a bye? I hate that they're giving the Big 12 a bye. You know how I feel about that. Because, why are we acting like the Big 12? And the ACC, I can at least understand a little bit more, but still not really. There's really a Big 2, a Power 2, and then kind of an other 2. Why are we giving the champ of the ACC and the champ of the Big 12 an automatic bye and a top 4 seed? I could see Utah winning the Big 12 and being 10-3 and 12-1 Ohio State or 12-1 Oregon or 12-1 Georgia or 12-1 Alabama not getting a bye and being the 5 seed.
Here's the one great thing, though. If you're the 5 seed, guess what? You get a game at home. You get a playoff game at home.
That's true. So you got to win 4 in a row then.
I know. You got to win 4 in a row.
It'd be one thing to win 4 in a row if you haven't already played in a conference championship game. So
that's a
Ohio
good point.
State and you're 13 or 12-0. You go Oregon. Use whatever example you want to use. You go to the Big Ten championship game. You're 12-0. You lose to a team that you already beat. You're 12-1. You don't get a bye, even though you should. Now you got to win 4 straight games, and you don't even get a break because you played 13 games. That's ridiculous.
17-game season.
It's stupid. Listen, we've got to get rid of the Big 12 and the ACC. Bye-bye. No more buys for you.
Yeah, I don't.
Bye.
I don't like it, but I got to be honest with you. If it does get to the point where Ohio State is hosting a playoff game and just thinking about the campus atmosphere in December for that would be pretty incredible. Hey, I've got so many more other Ohio State odds that I want to get to, including Heisman Trophy, to make the playoff, total wins for the season. We got to go another segment talking Ohio State football. Is that all right with you, Dave?
I'm good with it.
All right, let's do it. On the money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
The Ohio Chapter International Society of Arboriculture's mission is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices. They remind herbicide and pesticide users to always read and follow the product label. The label is the law, so take the time to know how it should be used and how to use it safely. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified arborists in Ohio. Visit www.treesforohio.org to find an arborist near you. That's www.treesforohio.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. We are talking a lot of Ohio State football tonight. You would think the season is close and this team is interesting, and we're in Columbus, Ohio or something. Scotty, fire away.
Yep, let's talk next Heisman Trophy odds. Last segment, we talked about the plus 325 for Ohio State to win the national championship, and we're going to move on now to Heisman Trophy, and of course, Ohio State's got several guys up there on the board. So you've got Will Howard at 14-1. 2 segments ago, you just talked about he is the fastest quarterback on this team, over 20 miles per hour.
22.1.
22.1. So Will Howard is actually 4th on the list for Heisman Trophy odds behind Dylan Gabriel, behind Carson Beck, and Quinn Ewers. He's 14-1. And then you've got Quinshawn Judkins next at 100-1. Emeka and Travion are both 120-1, and then Jeremiah Smith you can find at 150-1. Full disclosure, I already did a little bite at the apple with the Jeremiah Smith 150-1. Just kind of a fun one to make. It's a lottery ticket. Probably not going to happen that a true freshman comes in as a true freshman wide receiver comes in and wins the Heisman.
Especially when Emeka's on the team.
Emeka's on the team and Quinshawn's on the team, and yes, absolutely. But I want to get your thoughts on the Will Howard at 14-1.
Decent, because, listen, he doesn't have to set the world on fire. There's a very interesting stat out there that if you look at Will Howard compared to Kyle McCord last year, Kyle McCord, 28% of the time was throwing to wide open receivers. 18% of the time, Will Howard was throwing to wide open receivers at K-State. And his wide receivers, none of them are named Marvin Harrison Jr. Do you see what I'm getting at here?
Mm-hmm.
So Will Howard definitely has a chance. But when you're naming those, so 14-1, I like those odds. I wouldn't go crazy on it, but if, you can throw like $5 on it. You don't need to be crazy. Throw it. You can even be like, you can throw a Hamilton on there. You can throw a 10. You can throw a 10 on there. Make yourself $114. You don't need to be crazy. Or, what I really like though, Scotty, from what you just said, Quinshawn Judkins, 100-1. I think he's going to be the guy. And I really like Travion Henderson. Really like him. And he's going to have a good year too. But I I worry about his durability. I do not worry about Quinshon. Anything can happen at the running back position. You can be the most durable running back and still get banged up. We all know that. But, man, I think Quinshon's going to have a heck of a year this year. I mean, there's a lot of draft analysts that I really trust. Like Dane Brugler's one of them. I think he might be one of the best in the business who have Quinshon as the number one back in the 2025 draft. So 100 to 1, I'm surprised to see that, man. I would have guessed it would have been like 50 to 1 at the most. That's where I see value. Jeremiah Smith might one day win the Heisman. It's not going to be as a true freshman. He probably won't win the Heisman, period. It's not going to be as a true freshman. Quinshon Judkins is a junior. Chip Kelly taking over as offensive coordinator. Offensive line better than I think most people think. 100 to 1, that's great value.
You know, I like to look for long shots. I just don't think we can with this Heisman Trophy because if you look at it, 12 out of the last 14 winners were quarterbacks. It is a quarterback award. And so it is just really hard to say. I mean, Quinshon would have to put up absolutely ridiculous numbers.
You could put $10 on it and you win $1,000.
Sure. Okay. Yes. If you want to put 10,
dropping Hamilton's out here.
Absolutely.
Like
That's a fun one. For sure. But, again, I think the Will Howard at 14 to 1, if you want to invest in one, is kind of interesting. Again, fourth best odds. And again, 12 of the last 14 Heisman Trophy winners were quarterbacks. So it's hard to see the Quinshons, the Emeka, the Travion, the Jeremiah having a legit shot to do it. A couple more Ohio State odds I want to throw out at you. One of the things that you can bet this year, relatively new because of the 12-team playoff, is to make the playoff, Ohio State is minus 650. That means a $100 bet wins you $15. Now, there is a new trend in sports betting where people like to bet really big money at odds like this to try and win a little bit of money. And so that you would think that this is one of those situations where if you were to throw 1,000 to win 150, you'd feel pretty confident in doing so.
Yeah, I mean, what would have to happen for Ohio State to miss the playoffs? Like there could be
3 losses.
There could be disaster. Right, they could they could lose to Michigan in another game, be sitting there 10-2. Ohio State fans are all upset, rightfully so. They would definitely make the playoffs at 10-2.
Yeah,
that's If you're gonna throw, if you got the means, why not? Now, if you're, because that's almost like a safe bet. Nothing's like a for sure bet. Nothing in sports betting is a lock. That's as close to a lock as you can get with a 12-team playoff. 9-3 Ohio State might get in. As the 11th seed or something like that.
Right.
9-3, if they have their losses or like close losses or like Oregon, Penn State, and Michigan. By the way, they're not losing to Michigan. I'm just saying. There's going to be a 9-3 team that gets in from the Big Ten or SEC. Yep. One of the two. I bet it'll be 3 teams that will make it from the Big Ten, 4 from the SEC, and the 4th team from the SEC will have 3 losses, in my opinion.
You're right. When we get to December and they're starting to look at who team number 10 and 11 is, there's a great chance that there's going to be a couple teams with 3 losses that end up finding their way in based on their schedule. One last thing, over-under on the win total for Ohio State this year is 10.5, and the juice is minus 150 on the 10.5. Ohio State does have the best odds of every team in the country to get to double-digit wins, to get to 10 wins.
I like this a lot because I think there's a much better chance that they'd be 12-0 than they would be 10-2. Okay, and 11-1 wins you the bet. 11-1 sounds about right, and I would lean 12-0 a lot harder than I would 10-2. I don't see them losing 2 regular season games. That's a lot for me right there. So I like that bet, especially even though you're giving up some juice there at minus 150. I like that bet a lot. Ohio State over 10.5 wins. That gives you a little leeway. I don't see them losing more than 1 in the regular season. And if I had to bet, I think they're going to be undefeated in the regular season. And if I really had to bet, we're going to do this or that next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex Pros.
The pros who knows know electrical work too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros. And if you liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Check out this fresh deal on ground beef. 80% lean ground beef sold in a 3-pound roll is only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money, and it is now time for our favorite segment, This or That. Cam, hit it.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come.
We're going to have some fun over these next couple segments, and let's get started with, are you guys getting really into the Olympic Games this year, or have you guys mostly ignored them and haven't paid a ton of attention?
It's weird. I've been like super into basketball, super into it, like betting. Obviously, I'm Team USA to the core. Like, I can't believe how good this team is. Kevin Durant is the sixth man. Are you kidding? I know it's because he's coming off the injury, but it's still hilarious that he's going to stay the sixth man just because we can. And I've watched a decent amount. I do like the, I like that it's on Peacock and you have the gold. What's it called? The gold.
Gold Zone, I think.
Gold Zone, yeah. So, and I love the sprinting. I've always loved track and field, the sprinting. I know you want to get into the pole vault, Scotty, but I've watched a lot of the sprinting and a ton of basketball, but I really haven't watched that much else. So I'm kind of like a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Oh, very nicely done. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you, I am shocked, but I have been really into it. Like 2 weeks ago when you told me that the Olympics are coming up, and I'm like, okay, I don't care that much, But now that the games have been on, and like each night I'll throw on NBC, and I know most of those happened earlier in the day, but I want to just watch kind of the main highlights and things like that. And I've watched a little bit of the basketball. I've gotten into it way more than I ever thought I would. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'll be sad when it's over next week.
I'm kind of with you, Scotty. I've been watching it more than I think I would. Definitely not as much as when I was a little kid. I felt like I would make plans to watch like a lot of the Olympics or all the swimming events, especially when Michael Phelps was still swimming. But when there are some good events on, I find myself watching some of them.
All right, gents. there's been some talk, and it makes for a fun headline, makes for some fun conversation. Oh, Caleb Downs, running back, Are you guys getting with Caleb Downs will have 10 or more carries this year for the Buckeyes? Or are you not getting with that?
Gosh, that is a cool scenario. But
so that's less than 1 carry a game.
I am not.
Even using Beaver Creek, Ohio math.
I am not going to get with 10 or more. If you had said 5, I probably would have gotten to that point. But 10 or more, man, I have a hard time seeing that.
I don't see it happening at all. I don't see him having 1 carry. Right. Now, here's how it could happen. I almost don't even want to talk about it. But if both of the starting running, I call them both, they're both starters really. Both those guys get hurt, then you're down to 2 true freshmen as your only 2 scholarship running backs. Then you're going to need somebody else. But listen, they still have Brandon Ennis who could do it. They have others who could help out there. They got a couple of walk-ons, Rashid Cisse, the true freshman, being one of them. That would be the only scenario, is both of Judkins and Henderson getting hurt, God forbid. That'd be the only scenario. So I say I am not getting with it. What do you say, Cam?
I'm not getting with it either. I don't think that's something that he was brought to Ohio State to be a backup or be on the offensive side. He's a freshman All-American on the defense.
So we talked about Will Howard's speed, right? And we've talked about it multiple times throughout the show and how he's surprisingly as fast as he is at 22 miles an hour. He's been clocked, as you said. So I want to ask you guys this. If you could have one sports skill, what are you getting with? And I'm going with these 2 options. 1, that you could throw a football 50 yards, or 2, that you could hit a baseball 400 feet. You get one of these 2 skills. What are you taking?
Baseball, because I think you sold it a little short with the 50 yards. Is that impressive?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure I can throw 50 yards.
I'm talking like a nice
and
with
you couldn't hit it 400. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying. I don't know if I can throw it 50, but I bet you I could get it. Well, let me put it this way. If I was back when I was your age, I bet I could get real close to it.
A freshman in high school, I was throwing 60.
I played a lot of baseball, man. I don't think I ever hit one close to 400 yards, and I was decent at baseball. 400 feet. Definitely not 400 yards. I don't think I ever hit one even close to 400 feet, and I was decent. What? So I'm definitely getting with I would launch a baseball 400 feet. What about you?
Okay, so we were goofing around last weekend during the Ohio State practice. They have multiple fields out there. Okay, so I'm out there running around, and I did this like little football toss game, and then I told our other guys, hey, let's run some routes out here. And so I'm throwing the football, and I'm only throwing it about 30 yards. Now, this was a slippery, wet football, so I don't want to say that all I can do is throw a football 30 yards, but it was not easy. I'm talking about throwing it 50 yards with zip. I would take that over hitting the 400-yard baseball.
I think Cardale can throw it like 80 yards from his knees. Does that sound? I don't think I'm exaggerating. Like
I think we need to see you throwing it 50.
Cardale,
Dave.
I know. Well, if I was Cam's age, I would. I used to have a pretty good arm. At my old age, probably not so much. Up next, can I throw the ball 50 yards or not? This or that. Up next on the money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it's telling you to come in now for 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. Boom! White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only, tax not included.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Have you ever heard someone say that they just don't make or do things like they used to? While that may be true for many things, there is one company who strives to deliver the customer experience and quality product that we all reminisce about. And that company, well, it's Newman Roofing. You can read it time and time again in their reviews, how much they truly care about their customers and the roofs that they install. And I should know, they installed a roof for me and my family, and it was tremendous. Their sales team was fantastic, and the quality was phenomenal. They strive to leave the home as they found it. And some customers say they even leave it cleaner than it was before. And I can second that. Not only do they install a quality product that is going to protect your home and family for years to come, but they also walk away leaving you feeling confident that you hired the right company. Whether you need a roof repair or replaced, call the company that families have been trusting for 32 years. And that company is Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
That's the sound of sweat falling drip by miserable drip because your AC has decided to call it quits in this heat. But the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team never quits. So no sweat. The Waterworks offers same-day AC service to help you keep your cool this summer. And that sounds amazing. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
The Beat the Heat fan campaign is underway. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin, Madison, or Marion County fire station. The Fan 10 TV Beat the Heat fan campaign is sponsored by Newman Roofing. The Fan. Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casino's On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. The continuation of this or that. Cam, my man, the floor is yours.
Alrighty, and so these Olympics have showcased arguably two of the greatest competitors in their respective sports of all time. Katie Ledecky and Simone Biles are both considered the greatest U.S. Olympians in women's swimming and women's gymnastics. So are you guys getting with being the GOAT of swimming or the GOAT of gymnastics?
I would go with swimming, but either one would be cool.
Yeah.
That's the one. I mean, I didn't do it for long. I think I did it till like 3rd grade or 4th grade. I was on a swim team, and yeah, I mean, Michael Phelps is really cool, but I mean, seeing what Columbus's own Simone Biles is doing is super cool. I'm going to get with swimming, though.
Yeah, so let me give you my experience in both of these sports, okay? So as far as swimming goes, I am one of the slowest swimmers you'll ever see. Like, I'll be out at the Westerville pool, and some people sometimes feel like they might need to help me. I'm so slow. And number two, as far as gymnastics goes, the only event that I've ever attempted was a balance beam, and I'm probably on that balance beam for about 2 or 3 seconds.
I'm surprised you even did that.
Off.
I thought you were just going to say like a trampoline in the backyard with the kids. Does that count?
Well,
I've never been on it, done anything gymnastics.
Now,
I don't think.
I will
other than
say,
jump on the trampoline.
if we are including trampoline jumping, which I don't believe is a gymnastic event.
It should be, but I think you're right. It's
Is
not.
that in the all-around?
Didn't Mary Lou Retton win the gold? No, I'm kidding.
But I can do a flip on the trampoline, so I guess I would say that's my one skill in gymnastics. But I am taking swimming, absolutely, Cam.
I'm going to go with gymnastics. Something that I don't think I could do, even with a lot of practice or a lot of time, being able to twist my body and do flips and stuff. I can't do flips on the trampoline, so I'd rather be the goat of gymnastics.
All right, listen, gents, you can give me week 1 or you can give me week 18. Either one. You getting with Justin Fields will be the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback, or you getting with Russell Wilson will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can go again, week 1 or week 18. Take your pick, Fields or Russ.
Well, is it week 18 where the Steelers aren't playing for anything?
Then take it week. Then that's what I'm saying. You can either. I'm giving you a little leeway. I almost just went week 1. But I'm giving you a little leeway.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to put it this way. I think Justin Fields will end up starting more games this season, this regular season.
This is not the question.
Than Russell Wilson. Well, I mean, it's a bad question.
Play the losing
1 or 18? I mean, come on. Okay, how about this? I think Russell Wilson will definitely start week 1. I think week 18 will probably be Justin Fields. So I'm answering the question with more starts this year for Fields.
I think Fields is going to start week 1 and week 18, and I think Ryan Poles is going to look like an idiot that he gave Justin Fields away for nothing.
I'm going to go, I think definitely the end of season. I think he'll take the job from Russ, but I think they're going to try to trot out Mr. Unlimited to start the season.
So the big news story of the day, of course, was the NCAA, which is such an absolute joke, comes out and punishes Jim Harbaugh for unethical conduct.
Really? I haven't heard nothing about this. I thought he was innocent.
And so, obviously, the 4-year show clause, the 1 year, yeah, exactly, 1 year suspension, and the whole thing was an absolute joke. So, in your opinion, is the Chargers Harbaugh's last coaching job that he'll ever have, or do you think after the Chargers he will coach somewhere else?
I will get with he'll coach again, but in the NFL. He's like one of those guys that's like he wears thin after a while, though he left Michigan on top. We'll see, right? We'll see how his legacy is looked upon as we look back on it. But I think he'll coach one more stop after the Chargers, but never again in college.
See, I think this will be his last stop. He's 60 years old. I see this as like maybe a 4 to 5 year job for him. I think this is it for him with the Chargers. Definitely never in college again.
I think he's going to find a way to try to keep going, even if he loses this Chargers job. He might pull the year or two in media and try to wait and bide his time to find a new head coaching job, so I don't think it will be his last one.
All right, let's go ludicrous speed here because I do want to talk Olympic men's basketball because I love it. All right, you guys you're starting a team from scratch. The money is exactly the same. You getting with Trevor Lawrence or Jordan Love as your quarterback?
Ooh, good question.
That's not ludicrous speed.
I know.
Right.
I got to think about it.
He's lost his pick. Who?
Jordan Love.
I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence.
Jordan Love. All right, up next.
Bad call.
Is France going to win the gold? No. Is the United States? Yes. That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Manny Chopra, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value and have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, and are bound by the highest ethical standards. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, please visit oda.org.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Cam Taylor. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Final segment of the show. I cannot wait for Olympic men's basketball tomorrow. United States, Serbia in the semifinals. And then on the other side, Germany against France in the semifinals. Cannot wait. Scotty Vegas, I just absolutely love Olympic men's basketball.
You absolutely do. And in fact, you told me during the break that I better give you a nice pat on the back for your bet the other day. No, here's a true story. Dave did text us. It was the middle of the day. I was here at the station working hard. And obviously you were watching Olympic basketball.
I was actually waiting for Ohio State interviews to begin.
And you
said,
my car. Guys, I got this feeling about the game against Canada. Right? And France, Canada. And
right.
You said, take France on the money line. It's a home game. And Canada is favored. And what? You got them at plus 320, I believe? 3
to 1.
3 to
plus
1.
300. Yep.
And it came through. I didn't see the text. Again, I was working very hard here at the station. And I didn't see the text until halftime. And so I didn't get the bet in. But
you were playing air hockey, you mean?
You, sir, got the 3 to 1 win. So congratulations. There's your pat on the back that you asked for during the commercial break.
Appreciate it. Here's Ulysses for you. You're a good man.
All
okay,
right.
So here's what that leads to. Okay, France is again getting plus money tomorrow. I don't get it. Okay, yeah, Germany is good. They've got the Wagner brothers, and they've got Dennis Schroeder. I mean, France has Wemby. They have Rudy Gobert, who I don't like, but that's neither here nor there. Like, he's a good player. They've got Fournier. They've got a couple of guys people don't even know about who are good players in the Euro League. France, to me, straight up, I think, is as good or better than Germany. They're playing in Paris. If you saw that game the other day against Canada, it was awesome. It was as intense as you can imagine. And having a little money on it, made it a little more entertaining for me. Even if you didn't, that was like high. And SGA is so good for Canada. Oh, my God. He is so good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is so good. And that's why Canada was favored. But Dylan Brooks was absolutely terrible in that game. But my point is, it was so intense in there in Paris. So I think, listen, you're getting plus 180 with France tomorrow if you want to take them over Germany. Now, also the point spread's 5.5. Germany favored by 5.5. My friends, bet a little or a lot. I like France plus 180 over Germany tomorrow. I mean, look at their. What am I missing here? Look at their roster straight up. I would take France, and they're playing in Paris, and they're not just playing in Paris. That was raucous, my friends. That was like as raucous as it gets in college basketball. I'm not joking.
So, Dave, here are your odds to win gold. USA minus 600. Germany is plus 650. Serbia 16 to 1. France 24 to 1. And you can get France to win the silver medal. So if you like them to win the game outright, then you probably like them to win the silver medal, right? And you can get 2 to 1 at that. So maybe even a little bit more better value if you decide to take France to win silver rather than to win tomorrow night.
I got them at 10 to 1 to win the silver going into the quarterfinals.
Whoa.
France, because I thought they were going to be Canada, and I think they're going to be Germany. And then this team called the United States of America that's bringing Kevin Durant off the bench, who, by the way, is the all-time leading scorer for American Olympic basketball, men's or women's. The Slim Reaper comes off the bench as the sixth man. This team is ridiculous. All right. And we can say that for the Olympics, the Americans are favored by 16 over Serbia. I wouldn't be, they played Serbia in the exhibition. They played them in the group stage. I won't be surprised if Serbia gives them somewhat of a game, but the USA will win. All right, that's our show for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been On the Money.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
During our 10 for 10 sale, participating items like Lay's Stacks, Rice-A-Roni, and Sparkling Ice Sparkling Water are $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast.